doing this whole calculation, oh, the good outweighs the bad, so don't speak about the bad. They happen, but we don't speak about it because for the most part, white people in New Zealand are nice. For the most part,
yeah, I'm working on time. I'm upset. 50,000.
I'm upset. I don't want anything said in this video to sound like or to be taken as victim blaming at all, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But what I want to identify is some key issues. Last night I posted this status. I said something, this is what I said: what is actually making me sick and turning my stomach are the amount of people in the comment sections in support of this evilness. This is in New Zealand. This is all types of madness, heartbroken. And I realized how false my status is, because the good outweighs the bad most of the time in New Zealand. We don't speak about the bad enough. I say this and I mean it for myself, because I know for facts that I don't speak about the bad enough. I can actually believe that it got to this stage, because if we individually spoke about the bad that happens to us in the daily, if we spoke about it and it was common knowledge that this was happening on the daily in New Zealand, when something like this happens, it won't be like a wow, where did that come from? How did that happen? The other day, just shy of 2 months ago, me and my friends, we did a road trip. We went to Hamilton. It was probably like 4 or 5 black girls. We went out together to town in Hamilton. Like that night, we had such a great time together. But that night, we had like 2 cars drive past us, saying racist slurs, go back to your country, all this stuff. This happened in Hamilton, right? That same night, we had people compliment us. And we did the same thing that a lot of black people do. We go, okay, well, they did that, well, they said that, and that's mean and that's horrible, but you know, for the most part it was nice. And in my mind, I'm always doing that too. I'm always saying, oh yeah, for the most part New Zealand is nice. For the most part, people aren't racist. I mean, racist things happen, but they happen and they stay with me and I don't share it. Do you know what I mean? In fact, I'm getting so passionate I need to spit my gum. I feel more compelled to speak about racist things happening to other people in other parts of the world, but I never speak about the things that's happening to me. The other day, not even like literally a week ago, walking back from the bus stop. I mean, these are 2 little girls. I was walking on the same lane, they're walking towards me, and I was walking kind of like this, yeah? They see me and they literally crossed the road. It wasn't dark or anything. It was evening, so it's still summertime. It's evening. There's still bright daylight. There's nothing I'm going to do to these girls. They crossed the road, and I did a double take, and I thought, oh, that's weird. And I kept walking, and I did another double take, like, wait, what? So I turned, and these 2 girls had crossed the road again and were back on the lane that I was walking in. Like, shit like this happens, and it happens on the daily. Like, things, when I was living in Tauranga, so many little things like this happened. So many random little racist things were said to me. They happen, but we don't speak about it because for the most part, white people in New Zealand are nice. For the most part, white people in New Zealand are not actually racist. But what happens by not speaking about this little racist intolerance that we get on a regular basis, on a daily, by not speaking about it, we kind of create this false utopia of New Zealand that, oh yeah, it's actually really lovely, there's actually no racism. Even our white friends that are great, they don't know, because we are not speaking about this. They don't even know we're experiencing anything like this. So when something of this scale happens, it's like, whoa, wow, where did that come from? He came from here. The way we share stuff that we don't like, share stuff that we're happy with on our social media, me and my friends, there were 5 of us that experienced that racism in Hamilton that night. Not one of us, not a single one of us posted about it. I think we don't want to sound like a broken record. We don't want to sound like, oh, it's complaining about racism. We don't want to sound like that, but we run the risk of something heinous like this happening when we don't speak out about the little things, or creating this false reality. Because the truth is, there are people. Only 3 months ago I was in Nigeria, probably more than 3 months now. I was in Nigeria, and people would be like, oh, where did you have an accent? Where are you from? I say New Zealand. New Zealand, where's that? Oh, all the way there. Why did you go all the way there? I would just proceed to tell my story, the story my dad told us. He moved to New Zealand. He came to New Zealand. He studied. He felt New Zealand was a safe and a much better place to raise us as young kids instead of Nigeria. So that's why we're here. So, you know, that's what I tell people. It's a really safe country. We, you know, we don't get crazy crimes and rah, rah, rah. Like, so it's kind of like the selling point, right? I feel like, I mean, apart from all the other stuff, it's not like, oh yeah, nah, we're going there to make loads of money, because Nigerians, they'll think, oh yeah, America, UK. So what's my selling point? What do I love so much about New Zealand? It's safe. So this is hitting me so hard because it's the one thing that I've said so much about like New Zealand. Like, it's a safe, it's a beautiful place, rah, 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 rah. And I feel so, like, I feel like I'm even lying to myself, because I've just become so used to doing this whole calculation. Oh, the good outweighs the bad, so don't speak about the bad. You know, just let's just leave it as this great country. Like, it is great, but it's gonna be greater if we spoke about the bad. It's gonna be greater if people were aware to start with that, yeah, there's some nutheads, there's some crazies out there that still exist in 2019 that call out racist slurs out the window. Yes, they still exist. If people knew that they still exist, then we would have more to protect against, or we won't be so surprised or so shook. Like, and I feel like our justice system, like the police or whatever, they would know more. If Islamic people spoke about the little Islamophobia they feel they receive on the daily, because I know what happens. If they spoke about it, instead of going, oh yeah, nah, well, for the most part, people are quite tolerant. If we spoke about it, it wouldn't have gotten, I feel we could have prevented things, or at least we could have had people on the edge that something crazy could potentially happen, instead of having our whole reality crashing down. Because that's what I feel is going through every New Zealander's head right now. It's like this thing we've created is crashed, and it's like, well, it's just we did not tell the story like this. So yeah, my challenge to you is to speak up. Like, and it upsets me so much that I was just going with the flow, right? Like, and I'm not someone that likes to go with the flow. I speak my mind. I don't care. So like, for me to even make that status showed me how oblivious I was to the fact that I was just going with the flow, just going, oh yeah, nah, for the most part everything is great, so we don't need to talk about the bad stuff. No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to say when bad stuff happens to us, when people are being racist, when people are being intolerant, when they're not caring, when they're telling us to go back to our countries, when they're doing all this stuff. When they're doing that, we're going to speak about it. So we let other Kiwis know then they are crazy Kiwis. Go on social media, see all the people in the comment sections supporting this rubbish. You will realize there are a lot of not so nice Kiwis. There are a lot of Kiwis that are not kind, that are racist, that are intolerant. And we need to address them. And we need to set up security systems to protect against the crazies, or we need to educate them, whatever. We need to know they exist. And that's my little thing. But it's just been sitting in my heart, and I was like, you know what, Chica, you're just gonna make a video and you're just gonna talk about it. But yeah, it happens, and that's a challenge to myself, and that's a challenge to my friends and to whoever is watching this video. I mean, it's not nice to always talk about bad things, but the fact is we learn from the bad things. If we don't see the problems, how are we supposed to? We can't blame nobody. Nobody knew there was a problem. You know what I mean? So yeah. Kia kaha, Christchurch. Like, honestly, it's a terrible thing. I feel unsafe, and I'm up all the way up north, like in Auckland, but I feel so triggered. So yeah, no, it's a really terrible thing. My heart goes out to all my Muslim brothers and sisters. Like, it's a sad thing to have happened, and I'm doing my best, like, in any way that I'm gonna be able, I can support, I'm supporting, and everyone else get behind it, like, support them. You know, one New Zealand's, man, let's try and get past this together. And I'm talking too much because I don't know how to express in words what I feel, but I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. First of all, do not feel safe. And we've created that. unitedly we've created that by not speaking.